Hey everyone, Tech Steve here, and on this video we're going to do a follow-up from the unboxing video that I did on this Samsung QN90D, and at the end of this video I'm going to answer some of the questions that people might have had about it so we can make sure that everyone who's interested in this TV get a fair shot to see if this is the right one for them. The Samsung Q90D is a fairly thin television. It doesn't have the extra speakers on the back, but it's pretty much thin in its stature. It has that nice floating look that Samsung's known for, and the logo's over in the corner with some controls right below it. In my findings, most TVs that's mounted on a single point will have a little bit of give and play, but here's a wobble test so you can see it for yourself. Now on the back of this pedestal, there is a series of wire maintenance, and if you get the proper wire, you can use it just fine. But if you use thicker wires on the back of it, they will not hold, so you'll have to come up with another solution. But when it's dialed in, it's going to look nice and clean. Plus, you can mount it on the wall. Now this TV has 4 HDMI 2.1s, and it will support up to 144 Hz using variable refresh rate on computers. Personally, I was a little set back with this remote control because this TV is very expensive, and the fact that this doesn't have lights in it, and I think it's because it uses a solar panel to kind of save electricity. But on a flagship television these days, I think you need a remote control with lights in it and a few more functionality buttons, but that's just me. I would tell you, looking at this TV, it is a beautiful television. I mean, the colors looks really natural, and the black levels are really excellent, better than I thought they was going to be on this television, but it does come at a cost to have a TV like this. Now this is one of my favorite scenes of some different types of birds. But the reason I like this demo is because if you look at the feathers on the bird, the contrast is fantastic. So with the lights off, this is the TV is going to bring in all the contrast so you can see a lot more in detail in the picture. And just playing sports in cinema mode, it actually performs very well. One thing that really stood out to me is how rich the colors are. Now this TV is not perfect by any means, but it is a very good looking TV with that quantum dots technology and the fact that it has that new AI processor. This TV is going to look great on most signals that you run through it. Now, if you watch movies and you get a TV like this, you definitely want to get the best experience. So what I normally do is I use an external device like an Apple TV, because that allows me to turn the TV into a monitor, and then the Apple TV will allow me to select whatever signal I want. So I can make the TV SDR, HDR, or HDR10 Plus, which is Samsung's Dolby Vision equivalent. So here's an example of SDR content, and inside of here you're going to have different options of picture profiles. Now it depends on how bright you want the picture to be. Definitely switch over to movie mode so you can make sure that you're going to get the best picture and the inkiest contrast ratio available on this TV. Now switching over to HDR10 Plus, which again is Dolby Vision equivalent, this is going to give you more high dynamic range, so you're going to get more details in the picture. Plus there's a filmmaker's mode as well, so you can watch movies like the director intended. But personally, I normally prefer just to watch everything in SDR myself, but high dynamic range is a game changer for some people. I think it's all up to you to have your own personal preference on how you like viewing television. Next, I want to show you something that has to do with blooming. Now, blooming is where you get these halo effects around the different images, and this is really determined by how bright you make the TV. And here's some of the different picture profiles, and in my opinion, cinema mode is going to give you the less type of light glow on the television, but dynamic mode can bring in some blooming when it comes to credits. And to give you an example of this, keep in mind this is a recording, so it's not going to look like this live. This TV right now, I have the brightness turned down so I could be in the shot with the TV. But if we go into your settings over here and turn it to intelligent mode, as you can see how bright this TV gets, it will bring in more light here. But if we go back into turning that down or adjusting it, a lot of that blooming goes away. I tried to use my input lag tester to see how fast this TV was in milliseconds, and unfortunately this TV wasn't having it. So I wasn't able to do that test for you, but on average, Samsungs do 9.7 in game mode. Now on this screen, I will show you that this TV does support 4K 120 Hz, and this is off of an Xbox. It would also support 1440p at 120 Hz, and of course 1080p at 120 Hz. So you get all the different ranges on this television for gaming. And with this high-speed cable, see, it does support everything. It does not support Dolby Vision, which we already know for Samsung. With the video mode, again, it supports everything except for Dolby Vision. Plus it has variable refresh rate that you can always leave on or select gaming. So This TV is going to be great for gamers.
When we do, the cue is mine. Fight!
So in my opinion, if you're a gamer, you're going to absolutely love this television. The fact that it does 120 so flawlessly, and I didn't see any tearing or smearing, so definitely Samsung did a great job with this processor and getting the best out of gaming with HDMI 2.1. Now, it will support up to 144 Hertz, but keep in mind that's going to require like a RTX 3090 video card or 4090. And that's only at VRR rate, so it's not going to be consistently, if you hook it up to a computer, you probably won't see that all the time. Now, another thing about this TV is it does have a gaming bar, so with the remote control, all you need to do is make sure the TV is in gaming mode and press and hold down the play pause. Now, when that happens, you get this little pop-up over here, and if you want to get the best speeds out of it, you definitely want to choose what type of game that you're playing. They also have this virtual aim point, which puts this crosshair in the center of the screen so you get the best aiming, and you can zoom into the screen as well as have some gaming motion controls so you can smooth it out if you are seeing any kind of sputter. Plus you have a gaming audio as well to get you the best sound quality out of the built-in speakers. But speaking of that, Samsung TVs like this one does support what they call Q Symphony. The thing is that it sounds pretty good, so I want you to hear a demo of the speakers, and granted this is a recording, but if you put headphones on, you'll be able to hear some of those deeper bass notes. So in my opinion, this is a great television. It has a couple things that I think has room for improvement. Like on this screen, it is IPS according to what I'm seeing. So it is going to have a little bit more extra light around logos and things like that. And I wish they can give you a more advanced remote control, because this 55-inch at the time of this video is $2,000. So I do expect a lot. But when it comes down to picture quality, it is bright. In fact, in this new studio environment, I have a couch over here to the side, and I was able to watch it like a consumer, and the audio was fantastic, picture great, bright, vivid, really popped, made me want to sit there forever while I was filming this. But I think for people who want a top quality TV, this will be great. And keep in mind that IPS is going to give you those great viewing angles, especially for people who want to put them up on, you know, top of a fireplace or something like that. So you can't win everything. And if you want VA panel, you're going to have to go to the 43, 50-inch, or I think the 98-inch. Other than that, I think the TV is great. The inputs work fine. I love all the gaming mode settings. And I think with this pedestal, you're not going to be moving around a lot, so it gives it that nice, clean, stealthy look. Wire maintenance, they could improve and make everything a little bit wider, or put little holders on it, so as you slide the wire through, it'll keep it from falling down. But I'm just over here just venting at this point. But now it's time to answer some of you guys' questions. So on my video where I did an unboxing of this TV, you guys left some questions, and one of them was, how many local dimming zones does this TV have? Well, here's the thing. As a reviewer, I don't get a chance to get all this information, and when it comes down to local dimming zones, it varies according to the size of the TV. So you could have, you know, so many in the 43-inch, and by the time you get to 93-inch is 3 times more. So that's not really a fair way to answer it. But I will answer the second question that you have about the glare. Now, to say that it's glare free is definitely not going to happen, but this is with one of my video lights that I use here in the studio, and then I'll put the flashlight on the other side, and you can see that it is going to pick up glare, but it has a pretty good anti-glare coating on it compared to some budget model televisions. The second question that I will answer is, can you turn off the local dimming zones in the newer QN90D? According to what I'm seeing, you cannot. There's different settings like low all the way to high, but I don't see a feature where you can turn it completely off. Now, if you do know a way to turn off the local dimming zones in this television, please let us know down in the comments and help out the community. Now, the next question is, someone asked me am I sure that this 55-inch is a IPS panel over the VA? Because online, a lot of people are saying that the new lineup of Samsung QN90D series are VA panels. And it is in some cases. For my findings, the 43, 50, and 98-inch are, but the 55 is still IPS. Now, I want to show you something real quick, just so we're on the same page. The panels can be different, depends on which model that you buy. For example, the QE series uses the VA panel. The TQ series uses the IPS panel according to display specifications. But the model that I'm using on this video is the QN series. But I want you to do your own research. But according to all the TVs I reviewed over the years, this is definitely an IPS panel, just because it has the characteristics that I've seen in many other televisions besides Samsung's. So you can definitely take that in consideration when you're making your best buying decision. 55 and larger Samsung's TVs do have a feature called Ultra Viewing Angle. And this helps with VA panels, and you'll see it on higher end televisions. But I will tell you, doing TV reviews, there's always going to be a mixed bag of information. So if you are really dead set on it and you have a store in your area, go take a look. That way your eyes can make the best decision for yourself. With that being said, I want to say that I want to thank you guys for being patient as I've been building out behind the scenes in here. And we have a lot of content. I have about 10 products that's been building up while we're going through this process, but we will start cranking these videos out and giving you some information. And do me a favor, if you have a question, make sure you leave it on my videos, because you might find yourself on a future video getting an answer and a shout out. I'm Tech Steve. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace. Are we done here? Yeah, we're done.